Hello, Mr. President. Vivien Latour for the newspaper La Croix in France. What are your thoughts on the very likely dismissal of charges against Agathe Habyarimana in France and the link or influence her family could still have with FDLR through Kinshasa? Thanks.
These are some of the things I was saying, how the history, the facts thereof, sometimes they keep playing out back and forth and even leading to minimizing the identity and the effects and the real bad image of FDRR. And we see it playing out in different places and ways. Yeah, in the recent time, years, months, we are aware one of the sons of Habyarimana, and some of the people who ran away from here, by the way, who live in Europe, United States, and have been active on this agenda of FDRR, and they've been recruited, they are financed, they've been forming different things under the tutelage of the president of DRC, personally, not even, we follow, we see the visits, the many visits they paid to DRC government in Kinshasa, and we follow the activities they are enabled to get involved in. There are even those who used to be the officials of government who ran away like 20 years ago, again because of association with the FDLR or other activities to undermine the integrity and fail the government so that it doesn't move forward. So you can link these things. You see the FDLR being covered up by some authorities in Europe and elsewhere, then the family of Habyarimana and individuals who were active in what happened in the tragedy, like his wife, and they are in the courts of law, the cases are treated the way those powers decide. And then those activities leading up to, and then in the end you have people saying, FDR, how many people are they? Really it's like, for us who complain about, when we are complaining about FDR, these genociders, actually it is not even complaining about them in isolation. They are strengthened, they are made effective by the association they have with, for example, the government in Kinshasa or some authorities in Europe, or who allow this to, and then in the end who openly play down this. So you can put all that together and form a picture of how manipulations and wrong things have been going on around this problem of FDLR, but also how that relates to what is happening in Eastern Congo, in Congo, and the noises that are made after that. Then you see resolutions that the UN sort of not bothered about FDLR, and not even bothered by those who support them, and trying to distance and make them innocent, those who support them. So it is in that form that we see even that case, how it has evolved. It has something to do with all that.
Next question from Theodore.
Hello, Mr. President. Theodore de Queiroz. I'm a French journalist based in Rwanda for Le Monde and the AFP, and also TV5 Monde. You spoke about association between FDLR and Kinshasa. Could you share us more information about the association? Do you have any clue of that? But also, can you help us to assess the FDLR threat in Eastern Congo in terms of number and firepower? Also, as dismantling the FDLR group seems to be one of the key of the Washington Peace Agreement, when will you consider that this group is dismantled? Thank you.
Well, everything I have said, even here, about FDLR and those who they are associated with, explains that. I don't know whether I just have to repeat myself. In fact, I even talked about how there has been talk about numbers as a way of making it. The easiest way to give you numbers, if you operate here, maybe you should find time, they give you access, you talk to these people who have been captured and brought here among the leadership of FDLR, so that you talk to them directly. They give you. But again, the issue of numbers. By the way, I have seen that, for example, let me give you you know, in Congo, there are different forces. Let's say there are forces of Burundi, big numbers actually. Last time, since we talked about Goma, that even before just before Goma fell, Burundi had in Congo over 10,000 troops on the ground. Then you know that there are Ugandan forces in the areas of Ituri, Beni, and so on and so forth. According to DRC, these are invited, so meaning they are there legally. But for the forces, for example, of Uganda, one of the reasons they are legally there or invited is to do with these groups of ADF. Would you be interested in finding out or understanding, or let us understand, in terms of numbers, how many are ADF? To make it such a significant problem that justifies the presence of, let's say, the amount of forces that, the number of forces that came from. Do you have an idea? So, because I suspect there may be a fraction of FDLR, but it is taken seriously by that label put on them, terrorists. You see, terrorists, even when they are 5, they actually do harm, and people take that seriously. So if there are, why no one would take them seriously, knowing that their history, and worse still, knowing that they are associated with a government in DRC. And I mean, this is a public knowledge. Even the way you have heard of hate speech, you have heard of all kinds of things. If you want to know, you must be knowing. So still the issue becomes, how many would they be? How many? So it's like putting me to task. One, it is falsifying the issue of numbers. If we want to know about numbers, there are many. That's very fact. Then, but the essence of saying how many are they? It's like to say you are exaggerating. No, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about what you said that is said by so many, including authorities in Europe. I have been asked by some leaders of Europe, how many are they likely to be? When somebody asks me that question, immediately I know he's interested in covering up the problem. And therefore, I associate it with all this I see. Like I said earlier, when you are talking about FDR, say the resolutions, the statements made at the UN, they come saying, it is really like a whisper. It is just mentioned in the passing. It's not, but the reason is so that it's like Rwanda should not be taking action against them, which means from there, I can see they are saying they are not connected with the whole history or even their responsibility in what they did here. Well, by the way, they have also questioned even numbers of those who were killed in the genocide. They says moderate this and the others are just mentioned in the passing. It becomes an issue of moderate people who died. It's not about the mass of people who were killed in the genocide. This has been a subject of discussion and debate unnecessarily, in my view, for such a long time. So, the connection with between FDR and the Kinshasa government, and my friend, I'm sure you know. And as a journalist, I'm sure you investigate, you should be knowing. I don't know whether I'm being tested to show how much I know, because I'm being asked by people who know. Then we can put it another day.